To replace Obamacare, okay, got that. Now let's turn to the tax cut that I so frequently talk about. Tax cut for everybody, that is. Joining us now is Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross. Mr. Secretary, welcome back to Varney & Company. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Stuart.
I want to focus in on paying for the tax cuts. We apparently want to pay for it with the border adjustment tax. Are you 100% committed to the border adjustment tax?
No, neither the administration nor I has yet taken a position on the border adjustable tax. We're studying it, we're evaluating it, but we've come to no conclusion yet.
Will you take a position on paying for the tax cuts? Or do you just want to cut taxes and let growth take care of deficits? Or do you want to pay for it up front?
Well, in order to get to reconciliation, which is the process we probably need to get any tax bill through, you must come forward with a balanced budget. So then one that meets the CBO scoring over at least a 10-year period. So there's no question that the budget proposal has to, on its very face, be a balanced budget.
Do you like being hemmed in by politics? You were a freewheeling business guy, and suddenly you're the Commerce Secretary, and you've got to deal with this parliamentary maneuver and that parliamentary maneuver. You happy?
Well, we always had to deal with it. It's just before I was outside, now I'm a little bit inside.
I need to ask you about America putting a fine on that Japanese cell phone equipment maker, ZTE. A Chinese company.
Yeah, Chinese,
ZTE.
not Japanese.
I'm sorry, sir. $1 billion fine or thereabouts for breaching sanctions. It looks like Commerce, you, Mr. Secretary, are going right after China. Are you?
We're going right after violations of any aspect of our trade regimes. In this particular case, they were violating sanctions. There are also plenty of violations of trade agreements themselves and of WTO rules, and we are going to be very harsh on enforcement.
Will they be harsh in return?
Well, they've been harsh in the beginning because that's why these measures are needed. It's one thing to be aggressive, it's another thing to do events that are illegal.
What leverage do you have on the Chinese?
Well, $1 billion is pretty good leverage, I think.
Okay. What else?
Well, there are limits to what we can do. We're not going to send gunboats to the harbor off Hong Kong. So there are the rules. There are the measures we can take. We will be taking them. We will be enforcing the rules. And even more than that, we'll be collecting the fines. Historically, believe it or not, there are billions of dollars of countervailing duties that went uncollected for a whole variety of reasons, all of which we're trying to deal with.
You're taking a strong upfront position. That gets a lot of people worried about a trade war, tit for tat. That worry you?
Enforcing one's legal position doesn't strike me as a war. It's normal police activity.
You reply in sound bites. That's really good, Mr. Secretary. Thank you very much. Before you go, can I ask just one question, kind of off base maybe? Would you be more comfortable if President Trump put aside his Twitter account?
No, I don't see why. He needs a form of direct communication to the American public because so many of the media don't give him a fair shake. And I think what he's done is to transform the form of communication between the president and the public.
Mr. Secretary, thank you very much for joining us, sir. It was great to have you back on Varney & Company.
Thank you, Stuart. Good to see you.
Yes, sir.